girls, so I'm sure you're wondering why I'm sitting here with one eye done and one eye not done. So tonight I'm gonna talk about my dogs crashing this video. Oh, I'm gonna talk to you tonight about how to use our liquid eyeshadows, which are a brand new release, permanent to our line. It's not a special edition release or anything like that. This is a permanent part of Mary Kay's line. One of my most popular quads that I sell. And I'm going to show you how to do a little more basic of a look before we build on top of what I've done here. These are great products that I love so much. Our liquid eyeshadow line consists of 4 colors. Light Beam is the one that I'm going to be using. And the best way to choose is just going to be based on your skin tone. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, drop a comment. We also have Pink Starlight, which my preference on my skin tone is the Light Beam, but the Pink Starlight would be really great with this look. If you wanted a more smoky look, you could use the Purple Nova all over. You'll see what I'm going to do here in just a minute with it. It would be a great option. Also, if you wanted a darker, smokier look. And then there's the Meteor Shower, and this one sells out all the time. It's sold out twice since it came to us in our line. So, anyway, it's actually my favorite. So I had to restrain myself from using it tonight. So pretty much tonight, I'm just going to touch on what products I used on my face. I did use our SPF, foundation primer. I used our oil mattifier because I have oily skin. I used brushes all over my face from Mary Kay's brush collection, but I also used some brushes from the amazing Lori Hogg collection. She is one of our brand ambassadors. I love her. I used our CC cream. It acts as an additional primer, so if you have issues with your makeup staying on your face, not only do you need to try primer, you need to try a color corrector under there. And then I used the Matte Wear 3D liquid foundation. And we have just a great mix of all kinds of products. I used our new limited edition bronzer on my face. I used the darkest shade to kind of warm up my face and give a little contour. It's called Gilded Glow. And then I used Rosy Nude as my blush, which is my favorite blush that we have because it's a matte. I did my whole face and one eye, and I'm going to show you how I did this eye and how you can do it pretty basic or a little more dramatic. And like I said, you can use the darker shades. You could use Meteor Shower or Purple Nova in place of the Light Beam that I'm fixing to use. With the color palette that I'm using, I would advise the Purple Nova if you wanted a darker, smokier look. So for my eyebrows, I used our Espresso Chroma Fusion eyeshadow, and I used concealer to prime my eyes. I also used our eye primer, but that's because I need this to last a little while. I have quite a bit going on for the rest of the day, so I gave myself a little backup. That's why I use CC cream and primer, because I do have oily skin, so I wanted to make sure that everything just stayed put. And I wear glasses, so I have to be really careful right here. So I'm gonna make sure with a heavy dose of makeup finishing spray when I'm done here, to make sure that it stays. Anyway, let's get started. I'm going to be using, first off, like I said, I used a concealer on my eye as well, and then I used a little bit to kind of shape this eye, under my eyebrow out, where my brow bone is. I'm going to be using the cream color brush from Mary Kay to help this along a little bit. You can also use this for concealer under your eyes, on your eyes. As you can see, I have 2 separate brushes for that. This is the one that I use for concealer. So I'm going to use Light Beam, and I'm just going to go, I'm going to turn this just a little bit. You're going to see a little more of my closet. I'm going to flip my hair around a little bit too. Sorry if that gets on your nerves. I'm in the middle of what they call the curly girl method, and I can't do anything heat-wise to my hair. So it's out there for all the world to see. It's supposed to help me find my natural curls. So let's see if that exists. All right, so I'm just going to take the doe foot. With this, with the liquid eyeshadow, you don't want to use your fingers to kind of get it moving around, because that takes some of the pigmentation out. And just unless you want it to not be pigmented, but I mean, who really wants that? So first off, I'm just going to show you how you can do this as a pretty basic everyday look. I'm going to take just the amount that's on the doe foot applicator here. And if you can hear my dogs in the background, I'm so sorry. They are begging to go outside, and they've waited until I'm doing something to do so. So I just spread that all over the eye, and I'm going to take this cream color brush, and I'm going to go and work it all in. We're not going to go into the crease. I'm just going to stay right here on the lid. You just want to use that. You can use the doe foot applicator, but it does take a little bit longer for it to dry. So I advise using a brush. The brush helps not lose the pigmentation. It takes away that super wet look. You don't want that super wet look. So there's that. You could leave it just like that if you want to. I don't advise it, but you can if you want to. So I'm going to take a Mary Kay all over eyeshadow brush, and this is the quad. This is my top selling quad that I put together for my customers on the regular basis. This is Blossom, Hazelnut, Rose Gold, and Merlot. I used Blossom all over my eye before we got started, and it's what I put over my concealer under here. I'm going to go straight into Hazelnut. Hazelnut is an amazing transition shade. So I'm going to dip in, and you always want to do your makeup eye level. You don't ever want to do it looking down like this, because you're getting a totally different angle from what people are going to see looking at you straight on. So I'm going to grab this mirror. This is our limited edition. I believe it's Natural Beauty or Earthly Beauty, something like that. It holds, that's what I have my bronzers in, but it holds 6 eyeshadows on one side, a couple of bronzer, a couple of blushes, or it can be filled with eyeshadows. It can be filled with just blushes. That's how I have mine. This is specifically for bronzers, and this one is specifically for blushes, and it has my contour powder, and it's a lot dirtier. It's this one's part of our permanent line. This is a special edition. So I'm going to take my mirror, and I'm just going to start working in my crease. You want to use a matte shade in your crease with the liquids. You don't want to use double shine because then it can just get a little out of control. So you don't want to use shimmer on shimmer on shimmer, especially if you're over 30, 35, 40, depending on what your skin condition is and what your wrinkles look like. If you are very wrinkly, which I'm starting to get crow's feet out here, I have to be really careful about how far I drag my shine shades out. You definitely want to be using some mattes, and that's okay. There is nothing wrong with that. So I'm not doing any sort of dramatic smoky, like anything like that. Like, I'm just doing a regular, this would be a regular look. You would throw some mascara on and you'll be done. But I'm going to show you how to make it a little more dramatic without doing the smoky eye. Because some of us don't have time for a smoky eye. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm lucky I have time for this eye, because usually I barely have time for this eye. So I use the Mary Kay All Over eyeshadow brush there. Let's assess the situation. If I were stopping for a simple look, this is where I would stop. I would throw on my, I would tight line my eyes to give my lashes a little bit thicker of a look. If you take eyeliner and you line up in here, it makes your lashes look a little thicker and fuller. And I would go with our Ultimate Mascara and our Lash Love Waterproof. That's where I would draw the line. I would be done. I'd put a couple of coats of each of these on and be done. And then I would spray my face and walk out the door. But I'm not done. I'm going to show you guys how I use this whole palette together. So now I'm going to take just a basic, and this is not a Mary Kay brush. This is a short shader brush. These can be bought anywhere. I'm going to take my fingernail into the Chroma Fusion shade Rose Gold, and I'm going to put it on top of the light beam that I use, the liquid, and I love how different it looks. Actually, I'm going to show y'all while I'm putting this on. I'm going to put a little bit on my hand to show you the difference in the two. I do want to make sure though that I put a smidge of primer where I'm not going to put the liquid, because I want to make sure you see exactly what it looks like. If you don't use primer under your eyeshadows, you need to. So I'm going to smear that in just so we can see the difference and let it dry for a second and go on. So I'm just taking my ring finger and I am popping this rose gold on all over my lid. It's just making it a little more of a pop on my eye than what it already was. And you can do the same thing on top as well. If you were to put this on, you can put that on top. I chose not to do that because I wanted to show you how you could do a basic two, like one shade of this, a shade of this, and be done out the door with your mascara. So I would have to wash it off and do it again to show you with it on top. So there's that, and I'm just going to show you the differences right here. I hope that dried enough. So I think you can tell this right here is just a little shiny, and that's where just the primer is. But then you can see how pigmented and bright it is right here where I put the light beam first, and then I put that on. Now, I didn't do like a smooth out or anything like that. I just put them both on and went with it. So I think you can definitely see the difference. This side has the light beam underneath, and this just has the primer underneath. You could also leave it like this, do your mascara, and go. To use all four shades in the quad, I use Merlot as a liner, but you can definitely use it as a V color, which deepens up your crease a little bit. I'm not going to go into that because that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day, but I'm just going to do this really quick. I use a short shader brush for this. If you have problems with runny eyes or your mascara and eyeliner staying on your face, using a shadow for an eyeliner is a great option for you. I'm just ready for my eyes to match because they've not matched for a few minutes. And then I do use it on the bottom, and instead of using a liner on my waterline, I will use this. I will make sure that it gets far enough up in there to use it as a, because then it doesn't leave streaks and kind of seep out the way that a liner does. Even waterproof eyeliners, if you have watery like eyes and whatever, it can still run. So it's, for me, I can use an eyeshadow much easier and know that it's not going to end up out of my face than a liner. I'm going to pull this out just a little bit so that these can meet. You always want your eyeliner to meet. If you're going to do it on the bottom, you want it to meet whatever this little point out on the, whether you do a full wing or like how I did just a little bit of a wing. You want all that to meet up. Okay, so now we're almost done already. Look at that. I'm going to take my eyeliner and I'm going to tight line a little bit. And that really helps with making your lashes look thicker and fuller. I think you can probably tell the difference where I just did that. I'm going to use our lash primer, which is one of my favorite things. It helps condition your lashes, helps your mascara to stay, and it helps prevent that whole spider leg feel and look, because some of us get that. So this is a Lori Hogg brush. I'm going to take the Blossom shade, and I'm just going to put it right here. I haven't done it on the other side. And I'm going to carry it down right here. Because if you put a lighter shade right in this area, it helps brighten your eye. And God knows when you hit a certain age, you want a brighter eye. Am I right? No, I am. I'm going to go ahead with my first coat of mascara. Something that can really help with getting mascara, not getting mascara on your face, is looking down. So I always put my mirror down like this and do my mascara from there. So that was the Ultimate Mascara. I'm actually going to use 3 mascaras just to show you kind of how you can get a different look from each one. That's just the Ultimate. That's one of my top sellers. I sell that one a lot. And then on my lips, I used the Light Nude lip liner and the Blush Velvet, which is one of our newer lip colors. Just going to touch that up a little. And while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and finish up my face super quick. Okay, so now I'm going to take Lash Intensity on top of my Ultimate. This is what I do on Drastic eyeshadow days. It is a dual wand. So you have a flat side that helps lengthen, and then you have a curved side that helps with volume. And you can mix and match mascaras. There's nothing wrong with it. I used to wear 2 coats of this at a time, but I really love the look with the Ultimate Mascara. All right, so now I'm just topping both of these off with Lash Love Waterproof. That is my preference. I like to top everything off with a waterproof because our eye makeup remover even removes waterproof products. So I love our eye makeup remover. And I'm just throwing a little bit more on over here because I was in such a hurry earlier. So I'm pretty much done. The only thing I'm going to do when I get off of here is finish with the makeup finishing spray, which just helps me have longer wear. I'm all about the longest wear possible. So that's why I use primer. That's why I use CC cream. That's why I spray. And if you live in the South, spraying this in between, you know, foundation and powder, that's okay. You can do that because we have humidity and we don't want our faces melting off. So anyway, that is pretty much all for this look. And I just wanted to show you guys how versatile that our products are and how you can use them together, especially the liquid eyeshadows and this quad. This is my top selling quad. So I don't know what your Mary Kay girl does as a special, but I know what I do for it as a special for these. So if you want information on special pricing specifically for tonight for the quad or liquid eyeshadows, get with your Mary Kay consultant that invited you. If you are one of my customers, get in touch with me. I will let you know what the special is. And I hope everybody has a great night. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. If you have any product questions, please let me know. I'll be more than glad to help you. And yeah, have a good one.